And we were having a party, and this rocking chair started rocking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And that freaked everybody out, and everybody went home. It was kind of wild. But see, stuff like that has happened to me, like I told you on the phone last night. You know, ever since I can remember, ever since I've been little enough to remember, I have stuff. Until we moved in here, for some reason when we moved in here, I quit having visitations, and I had bad health. And he figured that out. Seriously. Don't make any sense.
No.
Because of Loretta.
No.
Loretta's my witness on some of them. Oh, Loretta.
No.
Well, I had a strange thing happen to me one night when I was sleeping. I was laying there in bed. I'll never forget. I was laying there in bed, and I had my stereo beside the bed, and I always sleep on my left side at that particular time. You know, facing my stereo, you know, so I could listen to the music and stuff. But anyway, I felt that there was somebody else in the room, and I laid there, and as soon as I felt that someone was looking at me, I opened my eyes, and I swear, Leslie, this is an honest to God truth. As soon as I opened my eyes, this lady, old, hideous looking, with veins wrapped around her fingers, jumped at me and went, ah, like that. I ran. I don't know why. I'm a big guy. I don't know why I ran, you know, except for I was scared shitless. I literally ran into my mother's bedroom. I ran through her end table, broke her end table and her lamp, and smashed my face against the wall trying to escape from this woman. Well, I figured, well, it was just a bad dream. You know, why would, you know, a woman come in and try to get me in my bedroom, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was about a week or two after that, I met, you know, my wife Loretta. I met her, and you know, when we started dating, and we went to this bar in town, just a little dive, and there was only me, Loretta, Reg, the bartender. What was the other guy's name? John. Wasn't John in there?
Yeah.
John, and Reg's girlfriend. What's Reg's girlfriend's name?
Diane.
Diane. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 people in this bar. And all of a sudden the door swung open, and this little old lady that looked just like the lady that was in my bedroom came in. She was walking with a cane. And I was up playing the pinball machine. As soon as she came in, the whole place filled up with cigar smoke. It smelled like cigar smoke. I mean, you couldn't see it, but everybody, meaning the people that was there, was going, where's that smell coming from? Because it was just real odd to have cigar smoke in the room, you know. This lady come over to me and showed me in front of everybody. My wife's a witness, and the bartenders and so forth. She started screaming, I told you I'd get you, and she started beating me with her cane across my back. Reg, he was the main bartender, bouncer type guy. He'd come running over to the bar and grabbed a hold of this little lady and told her, he said, you can't be doing this. She said, no, I told him I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And so he just grabbed a hold of her and literally drug her out, threw her out the front door, and as soon as the front door opened, the whole bar smelled like wildflowers, like there was a million wildflowers everywhere. The ironic part of this whole story is this woman for many years had been known as a witch around Ravenna. She was probably 70 years old, looked like a typical witch, except she didn't have a pointed hat, just real old and kind of all gnarled up like, you know. And that really, you know, scared the hell out of me. But I can't explain it. I mean, it just seemed kind of funny that no one was smoking cigars. And if you know about devils and witchcraft and stuff, you know, usually if the devil's around or something like that, there's a sulfur smell or kind of like a match burning, or could possibly even be cigar smoke, you know. But why the wildflowers, you know, that was kind of ironic too. I mean, she didn't have any perfume on or anything. I mean, why would it smell like wildflowers? There's no logical explanation. And why this woman told me she was going to get me, unless she was the one that was in my room, maybe I dreamt about this, and then it happened.
Yeah.
But it seemed kind of ironic to dream about something that was going to happen. I don't have ESP or anything. Well, what else can I say, you know?
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. I also lived in a house one time that was haunted by an old man that had died in the, what was that room, Loretta?
It was a sewing room, but it was our dining room.
It was a sewing room at one time. It was our dining room. And his name was Mr. Autry. My neighbor on the one side of me, Mr. Henderson, he knew about it. He'd just chuckle and laugh. He'd say, yeah, the old guy don't mean no harm. He just doesn't want to leave the house. We had things happen like we'd be upstairs and the door would open, which doesn't sound like too big of a deal except for it was locked from the inside with a chain, a safety lock.
Mm-hmm.
It would slam open, I mean, literally slam open and close, and when we went down to investigate, the chain was still on it. The chain itself would only let the door open up about maybe 3 inches. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's a safety lock. We had babysitters that heard all kinds of weird stuff that was there. I would talk to him sometimes. I would think he would be with my wife, and I'd be laying in the bedroom, and I thought I'd heard her come upstairs to get ready to go to bed, and I would visualize it was her in the bathroom. Well, I guess you really couldn't say visualize. I just assumed it was her in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be sitting there talking to her. Pretty soon my wife would holler up from the downstairs, "Who are you talking to?" So the guy really never hurt anybody. He just liked to let you know he was around.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that lived next door, Mr. Henderson, he was an older guy. He had originally built that house there, house that he lived in. So the house that I lived in was probably close to 60, 70 years old. This probably doesn't make any difference, but he knew all along about Mr. Autry. He just didn't say anything at first. I guess maybe he didn't want to alarm us or anything, but something unusual that goes on there. But many a times you'd hear stuff being knocked over and you'd go and investigate and everything would be okay. The doors would open and close. I think things even got moved around sometimes, didn't they, Loretta?
Yeah.
You know, like you put something someplace and you hear a noise and you go look and it'd be somewhere else.
And things would mysteriously disappear and never be seen again.
Yeah. Did you babysat there, didn't you? Did you ever hear any noises?
On Walnut?
No, on Riddle.
Riddle.
In that blue house?
I never liked that house. I was good. I go in there and I don't know, I would get the kids sometimes because it's like as soon as you put the bed, you're sitting there, you're going,
Well,
I don't think I really ever heard anything, but I was uncomfortable as heck in that house.
Well, we had some people that would babysit and then they wouldn't want to come back. It wasn't because, I think it's because we only had Crystal then.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because she was that bad. I just think there's too many things going on.
Yeah. Well, that house was just, I don't know.
Maybe you just sent someone else was there too.
That's probably what it was. I probably thought sometimes even well, Michelle and I babysat sometimes together.
Yeah.
But if I was and it was fine with just the two of us. But actually we never talked. Like after we put Crystal to bed, we never talked. And then Silver, we put her to bed, and we would just sit there like expecting something. But and when I babysat alone one time, it was just like, it was like kind of like I wasn't alone. And it's just like, you know, just looking at you, you think someone's going to be there, they're not.
Another thing that happened one time on Walnut Street after our grandfather died. Well, see, he was bedridden. He couldn't get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he always had a cane, and when he'd want Grandma, he'd knock on the floor with the cane, like, it'd go, you know, because he couldn't talk, he had a stroke, you know, and everything. And she would go in and see what he wanted, you know. And then after he died, A lot of times I'd be there alone. I don't know if it was just my imagination or what, but I'd hear this knocking on the floor. And that used to scare me. I'd run over and look. But like I say, I've had so many things. I think I'm one of these people that I don't do it for attention. I mean, I don't really want it happening when it happens.
Yeah.
Believe me, I mean, there's been nights I've been so scared I've got up and asked Loretta to sleep on my side of the bed. I got up one night on Riddle Avenue, and there was a guy sitting in the closet eating flesh. Just looking at me, smiling. Remember that night, Loretta?
Yeah.
And I begged her to get sleep on this side of the bed. You sleep by the closet. No, I ain't sleeping by the closet.